Hey, this is Randy.
Hey, how you doing, Randy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Really appreciate you doing this.
No problem.
You're the first football player, so I figured you'd be a good one to do. Since you were the Gatorade Player of the Year and all that.
Right.
So you played football, basketball, and did you run track?
Yep.
Okay. So my first question is, what advice do you have for current athletes as far as, a lot of our athletes like to pick one sport and stick with that. Some play multiple. So what would be your advice to them?
My advice would be to use your ability to the fullest. I mean, if you're an athlete, you're an athlete. Most athletes I know play everything, especially when we came up.
Right.
Everybody played everything that you were, able to do.
Yeah, that's the way I was too. So in football, what positions did you play?
High school?
Yeah, in high school.
Okay. I played DN and tight end.
Okay. And you were the Gatorade Player of the Year in 1999, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So before your junior at Western, though, Western had only had one winning season.
Right.
But during your last two varsity seasons, your teams went 9-2 and 10-2. So how do you think you and your teammates were able to turn things around?
Biggest thing, everybody on the team, we bought in, and whenever Coach Connors, brought us all together, we would get up in the morning times to go work out and stuff, and they kind of built, that camaraderie that you needed, and everybody was dependent on everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nobody was bigger than the team.
Right.
We went out there and we played as a team, lost as a team, won as a team.
Yeah. Right. So you had some pretty good teammates.
Oh yes, definitely.
And during those seasons, do you know of a time to where that was like the turning point of we're not gonna go 2-8, 1-9 anymore. We're gonna get this stuff together. So what do you think? There's a turning point that sticks out in your mind?
I do believe it was Smithfield Selma my junior year.
Right.
Because the previous year they annihilated us, even though I said it was bad. I can't remember the exact score, but it was bad. And they were, that team in Clayton was, and Oxford kind of like the cream of the crop when it comes to football, whatever.
Right.
But we went out there and mashed. Pressed the gas and got on them. I think that was a big game, and it kind of set the tone for us.
Gave you all a lot of confidence.
Oh yes, definitely.
All right. So I believe you were a freshman when this happened. So a lot of the seniors were suspended, and he called the JV team up.
Yep.
And then y'all ended up winning that game.
Yep, we did. I was a freshman. Like I said, I was one of two freshmen on varsity that year, and we had a bunch of, I'm not going to say riffraff, but we had a bunch of knuckleheads.
Right.
And we had a lot of guys, because we were losing, they were talking all kind of crazy stuff. We had guys to quit,
Yeah.
And Coach Connors is like, you know what? I don't have to win with you. We're losing, so I don't need you.
Right.
So he canceled the JV season, pulled those guys up, and like I said, that's kind of where it started. You started seeing the ball roll.
Right.
Yeah.
So what was the league like leading up to that game? Like, you're a freshman and you're playing a varsity team, and you guys are probably 50% under like freshmen and sophomore.
It was definitely, I guess, it was different because you have to think the bodies.
Right.
These guys' bodies are way more mature than, of course, most of the team.
Right.
So, you kind of didn't. I'm not even gonna say we didn't expect to win.
Right.
We wanted to win, but we kind of didn't expect it. We just want to go out there and be competitive.
Right.
So that's what we did, and we ended up winning the game.
Are there any moments or games to you personally that stick out during your junior or senior season when y'all won 9 or 10 games?
I would say my junior year, Clayton going there in their house and hitting them in the mouth. They were the big dogs.
Right.
We took them out.
Right.
And, I mean, that's one game where I could say we actually locked in, played as a complete team. Everybody contributed, in whatever aspect of the game that they were in.
Right. So do you know what's your best game individually? You might have had 3 or 4 sacks or whatever.
I would say it was probably Union Pines my senior year.
Was that the ESPN game?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the 2-day game. That game was 2 days. It started off. It was started lightning one night, so I ended up calling the game. So we had to come back that Saturday and finish the game.
Right.
But I say, yeah, that game sticks out. I can't remember how many sacks I had, but I got all the clips and stuff in my scrapbook, but I didn't look at all that stuff.
Right.
But it was. I want to say I had 6 in that game.
Dang.
Yeah, I want to say. Yeah.
So the ESPN game, what was that like? Having the cameras were there all week at practice?
Well, they were there most of the time. They didn't really. I guess they didn't really bother us too much because practice was practice, and
right.
Coach Carter took that very seriously.
Right.
They would show up, take a little shot here, a little shot there. But the biggest part of it was, with that Friday game, and we come out and you see all these people, you see the NFL film shirts, stuff you see on TV.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're looking at it like, wow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, what did we do to deserve this?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how all of us thought. Nobody was bigger than the team.
Right.
And we had great coaches, and they all molded us to be better men. So that's what they were teaching us. They were teaching us how to be men, and all the other stuff was going to fall into place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Oh, I need to get that video. I think Coach Matt showed it to us our senior year, but I need to get that and look at it again somehow.
If you can get with Joe Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Sanders actually has all of them on thumb drives.
Okay. Yeah, I need to get with him then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, so Coach Connors had kind of a wacky offense. Did y'all ever was there any point where you were like, man, I don't know if this stuff's gonna work?
And when my freshman year, first of all, when he got there, he showed it to us. Like I said, my freshman year, I didn't play any defense.
Right.
I played all tight end.
Okay.
And when I saw what he had us running, I'm looking at what kind of backyard, because I came from running the Power I when I was in middle school.
Right.
Coach Womack.
Right.
And I'm looking at this stuff, everybody moving around like that back there. It's like something you make in the backyard or something. So we, it was a lot of guys, just like we're going back to the whole guys, the guys that quit. A lot of guys didn't believe in it. And honestly, nobody really believed in it at first.
Right.
But whenever you start saying, oh, okay, wait a minute. That might be a little something to this. So
right.
Once we all started buying into it, that next year, my sophomore year, man, you couldn't prepare for it.
Right.
It was like one of them situations you got a week to prepare for something that you know absolutely nothing about.
Right.
I mean, even though by that time I was playing defense as well, and when we were in practice, we didn't practice on the same. Okay, like we had a blue team, we had a black team. I was on the blue team.
Right.
One day blue team would practice offense, next day blue team practice defense.
Right.
I was in that offense for 4 years, and still, it was hard for me to defend it.
Yeah, and you're Division One.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I joke with Clifton all the time. I tell him, man, all the time we played together, I never got a clear hit on you. Yeah, man.
All right. So after high school, where did you end up playing at?
I went to UNC Chapel Hill.
All right, and what was playing for UNC like? Football.
My freshman year when I got there, they had me listed as a roper, which is basically at that time in that type of outfit. I mean, defense. You pretty much are like a safety / outside wheel linebacker, weak side linebacker.
Right.
But whenever we changed coaching staffs, whatever, they end up having me play basically a stand-up 9 technique at the same position.
Mm-hmm.
But in dime and nickel formation, I would play the wheel or the middle.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, it was fun too.
Yeah. So at Carolina, what years were you at Carolina?
2000 to 2003 was my last year there.
Okay. All right. So after college, what did you do after college?
I played a little bit of arena football. I went and played for the Georgia Force, the Louisville Fire, Macon Knights, South Georgia Wildcats was the last team I played for.
Oh, nice! I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what do you do now?
Oh, I'm a truck driver.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So my last question is there or are there any one or more coaches or teachers during your time at Western that made an impact on your life?
Whew. Now that is a question. There's quite a few, and I really don't want to miss anybody.
Right.
But off the top of my head, my entire coaching staff. I mean,
right.
Everyone from top dog Coach Connors all the way down to Coach Rookie.
Right.
Coach Rookie, my senior year, he was actually my position coach.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Coach Rookie knew absolutely nothing about defensive line. So we actually were teaching him stuff as,
mm-hmm.
we were going.
Right.
But even to this day, you still right around those guys and it's still nothing but love. I see Coach Connors talk to him, quite often.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Wire, it's everybody,
Right.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right. That's all I have.